Okay. So we have already held one class. Other class আমি কৰিছিলো a few days back regarding what to do next after knowing your scores APC prelims 2023 সকলোৰ হাততে most probably এতিয়ালৈকে এটা tentative score এটা আছে. And based on that, I assume that you all are preparing, or if you have not started preparing, then I'm pretty sure that you will in a few days. So, without any delay, I think those who are sure with their scores and those who are on the borderline, I think both the groups should start preparing for the upcoming mains. Whether or not you clear the prelims, for those who are on the borderline, it will still help you in. Let's say advancing your preparation for the next APSC prelims. And those who have not secured a very good or appealing mark for this time, then I'm sure that you must be getting a grip on yourselves and preparing for the next year prelims. So today's session is specifically, and from today onwards itself, we will be focusing on those candidates who are pretty sure about their score in APSC prelims and who are definitely starting their way for preparing the mains examination. Okay, so আজি টেন্টেটিভলি আমি সেইভাবে সেই পাৰ্টিকুলাৰ প্ৰিপেৰেশ্যনটো ষ্টাৰ্ট কৰিবলৈ ফাৰ্ষ্ট ফাউণ্ডেশ্যনৰ বাবে চিলেবাছ ডিছকাশ্যন এটা ছেশ্যন ষ্টাৰ্ট কৰিছোঁ য'ত উই উইল টেক আৱাৰ টাইম এণ্ড ইনষ্টেড অফ ডিছকাছিং অল দি 5 পেপাৰ্ছ এণ্ড অল দি 5 syllabus content in one particular class or in a day, we are thinking of segregating the classes for each paper, each GS of course. আৰু সেইবাবে আমি অলপ টাইম লৈ পেলাই লাহে ধীৰে হ'লেও we will cover every content, every topic that is included in the syllabus for the mains. Okay, so the idea is that let's not make it a bit fast, or let's not just because mains বহুত সোনকালে আছে and you will just start studying everything and anything, so একদম shortcut কিবা এটা কৈ পেলাই মই সামৰি দিব বিচৰা নাই session কিটা সেইকাৰণে for every GS paper we are going to take one session. That means although it will be slow, but we hope that we will grill the syllabus in such a way that you will not have to come back and decide যে আমি কোনখিনি পঢ়িম আৰু কোনখিনি নপঢ়িম. Okay, in one session itself, let us just take the in and out of the entire syllabus for each paper, so that আপোনালোকে by and again ঘূৰি ঘূৰি আহিব যাতে নালাগে in the next 3 months যে এতিয়া এইটো পঢ়িম নে নপঢ়িম. In one session itself you decide that yes, this part I'll study this much and this part I'll go to this extent, this part I'll do in-depth study, this part I'll add current affairs. So make sure that you have a total blueprint about that at the very onset, instead of during the course of study যেটা আপোনালোকে পঢ়ি থাকিব and then discover কৰাতকে আগতীয়াকৈ আপোনালোকে গোটেই syllabusখন postmortem কৰি লওক, and after that you can just go ahead that with a blueprint যে মই ইমানখিনি cover কৰিম, even if my greed would be to know more about the topic, but giving the examinations and the concerns about the timeline or the less time that we have, যাতে আপোনালোকে সেই গ্ৰিডটো সামৰি পেলাই একদম লিমিটেড ষ্টাডি কৰিব পাৰে. বিকজ হ'ব আই শ্ব' ইউ কিছুমান টপিকছত আপোনালোকৰ পঢ়ি ভাল লাগিব and then you will keep on dwelling into it without knowing where to end. Okay, and first for some topics এনেকুৱা হ'ব আপোনালোকে সেই টপিকটো ABC ষ্টাৰ্ট নকৰিব. So for those topics also, how to deal with them, both kinds of topics where you can have, like when you have interest and you keep on dwelling inside a topic, and when you have no interest at all. So both the topics, both the sorts we have in every syllabus, we have in every GS paper, how to deal with it, how to understand যে কোনখিনি আমাৰ কি words হয়, how to do answer writing, which points to do answer writing, the entire syllabus যেটা আমি এটো সেশনৰ পৰা কভাৰ কৰিম. I hope it will be helpful. Okay, so that was a brief introduction যোনটো মই আজি কাৰণে দিলো, but from the next time onwards we'll directly start from the key words and key points and the syllabus itself. Okay, so before starting this, I would like to have a 2-3 minutes of interactive session. All right, and this is very urgent, this is very important. I want to hear from you guys, although there are not many participants here, but then also the first question that I want to ask to you guys is, I'll open the microphone, microphone access to my provide video. Okay, so how many of you can also reply in the chat session, how many of you have already appeared for mains in the previous year? Let's say it might either be you might have cleared mains or you might not have cleared mains. I just want to know how many of you have or you appeared for mains in the last year, that is APSc 2022. Amongst who are available here, You can either tell me in the chat session, or you can also unmute yourselves and you can tell me how many of you have already appeared for mains last year. Okay. One. Okay, very good. Okay. Saranga Pani Hazarika, Manoj Chetri, Deep. Okay. So three people. Any more? আপোনালোকে এইটোত একো do not hesitate. I just want to know because I'll be asking you something. Based on that, Kharga Pani Re, I believe you have also. Okay, you have also. Alright. আৰু যদি কোনোবা hand raise কৰিছে মই হয়তো দেখা পোৱা নাই because alright. So I'm assuming বাকি সকলোৱে okay last year cleared mains. Okay. Even if you have not cleared mains, not an issue. You can also anyone who sat for mains last year as a whole. Avinash Saikia, okay, cleared mains last year. So I see that we have already four candidates. Anybody else? Anybody else? All right. So I assume that there are four people, at least, okay, who cleared mains, probably sat for, I mean, appeared for interview also. And I'll also assume there'll be a few candidates who probably gave mains, but definitely apnaloke hand raise kora nai. The shy nature, of course. So I'm assuming that that there are a few people who must have been like sitting for mains, and I mean they might have sat for mains in the last year. So, could you finish your syllabus? That is my first question. Could you finish your syllabus? At least four or five of you who have appeared for mains. Could you finish the entire syllabus? What was the biggest challenge that you faced in clearing or in finishing the entire syllabus? Okay, very good. Yes, correct. Okay. Okay. Exactly. Okay, okay. Right. ठीक है, I've got the answer. Yes, I've got one. I think Sangapane Hazarika has given an overview of the problem that everyone faces. Even I have faced the same problem every time I would sit for mains. Okay, not every time I sat for mains. It's the first time that I sat for mains. Um, didn't cover the whole syllabus. Avinash Sekya, yes. Manoj Chetri, time crunch because wasting most of. That's what exactly. Dev Manoj Chetri, apnar শেষ হৈছিলে syllabus. I think if you sat for two mains, then possibly আপোনাৰ শেষ হ'ব আপোনাৰ শেষ হোৱা নাছিল ন possibly তেওঁ আপুনি maximum coverage দিব পাৰিব বুলি মই ভাবিছোঁ পাৰিছিলে বুলি মই ভাবিছোঁ all right so all of you I think the answer is quite in front of you why possibly we might not be I mean we might be facing a problem with the syllabus যোনসকলে first time clear I mean first time যোনসকলে দিব লৈছে or who have already, I guess, appeared for mains last year, I think this will be a genuine problem that you will not be able to, or you will not be always be complaining. Je, syllabus hai no hol. Okay, time crunch was wasted most of the time to decide what and how to study. The biggest problem. The biggest problem. Essay is a problem. GS4 is a problem because it's lengthy. Practice is a problem. What I want to tell you here is do not ignore these problems okay most of you would right now be focusing je যেনেকে হলো আমি সিলেবাসটো কোৰ পৰা ষ্টাৰ্ট কৰোঁ হেতুটো সবৰ প্ৰবলেম থাকে genuinely so you might be focusing on কি notes লওঁ right কি আমি books লওঁ you must be focusing on that কি books law and you must be asking everyone around you whoever has cleared mains last year whoever has been getting a job in the past few years যে কি পঢ়িম দাদা বা কি পঢ়িম কি নপঢ়িম right I want to know from you guys is this the thing that you guys are doing right now yes asking for books asking for sources asking for notes yes how many of you are guys I want to hear how many how many of you are doing this thing Debu Rajkumar, yes. I am pretty sure because I did the same thing. So we have been on the same board. Answer writing is key to selection, my opinion. Exactly. So we'll come to this how to do answer writing and what to do answer writing from your syllabus itself. See, all of those, I'll switch off the microphone right now. Just hold on. Kind of, that's true. Yeah. So The biggest problem that we guys right now have as aspirants, since we don't know what to start, we directly start with what kind of book, what kind of notes we should study. Amar toppers bilage ki porisile ami google korim toppers notes. We'll also start googling toppers bilagor interviews. We'll start googling what they did, what they did not, right? My honest opinion here is, you take inspiration from everywhere. Okay, you take inspiration, but do not practice every inspiration. It will bring you a lot of, or I'll say it will waste a lot of your time if you start practicing other people's inspirations. By practicing I mean কোনোবা এজনে কৈ দিলে মই এখন এখন কিতাপ পঢ়িছিলো, মই এনেকে এনেকে কৰি গৈছিলো, and you start practicing it instantly. You will not be able to follow everything, others timetables, others advice. It's only good as and when you reach that, if you know that you're on the same page. তাৰ মানে মই কৈছো, I will give you an advice that আপোনালোকে এখন কিতাপ পঢ়ি লওক, notes banai diok, and then you start revising, okay, like that. But you have to also understand that that particular topper who has mentioned this thing, he or she told this thing because he did this in a span of 2 or 3 years. Okay, kitab gutwa, notes bonwa, and then revising it. It's not a task that you can finish in 3 months alone. Okay, if the topper has mentioned it, he or she is not telling you a lie. Of course you need to believe it. It is an inspiration, you need to take it, but you cannot follow it until unless you know that both of you are on the same page. Okay, that particular topper is not asking you to do it right now. It's not asking you je apnaloke ei 3 mahot start kori diok. Etia jodi apnaloke start diye teneke, then it will be a big problem. Okay, so the thing is, today let me tell you, let us discuss one thing, that if you don't do that, then what you should be doing. I told you in the previous class, the first and foremost thing that you should be doing is know your syllabus in and out. Okay, even if you know the books, আপোনালোকৰ কিতাপ যদি আপুনি লৈও লয়, সেই কিতাপখনত পঢ়িব কি, that only your syllabus will tell you. So let every one of us at least put this, or ekdam etu mane apnar eta patthar ki lakir nisina apnaloke bonai lok, eta golden rule nisna ke bonai lok, that without the syllabus you will not proceed anywhere. Okay, so that means whenever you're opening a book, you will not start reading from chapter number 1 straight away till the end of, let's say Lakshmikant 81-82 chapter thakibo in the last, I think version 7th ne kiman ulaise sake already. So don't start reading, or don't make it a target je moi Lakshmikant gute 82 ta chapter hek kori lo, moi Nitin Singhane art and culture moi iman kita chapter something like 40-50 chapters hetu hek kori lo, moi modern history spectrum gute pori lo. That is not the target right now. The target is to understand the syllabus, and let us start with GS1 with that idea. Okay, the GS1 is divided into 3 particular subjects. Prothom to hoise apnalokor modern history, okay, the and art and culture, modern history, and then society ahibo. Okay, there is society, and then we have geography. These 3 subjects are there. GS number 2, it includes 3 components. Number 1, constitution. Number 2, governance. And number 3, we have international relations. Similarly, GS3, it has 3 components. Indian economy, then we have environment, science, and it has 4 components. Economy ase, okay, environment ase, science and tech ase, and internal security. GS4 is ethics and case studies. GS5, as we all know, is Assam part. Tate amar Assam history ase, Assam economy, and Assam polity. Assam environment অলপমান আছে mixed with the economy part. Okay, so this is the segregation that you should know. Etia a broad segregation or pisote, the syllabus is designed in such a way that it is like a person which is speaking to you je ekhini apnaloke porhok, ekhini apnaloke exam ot ahibo. You have to personify this particular syllabus and see what through it, that what it wants to speak to you. The first foremost topic is art and culture. Indian culture shall cover the salient aspects of art forms. See the keywords here, okay? Salient aspects of art forms. Tar mane only the important features. For example, art form is a dance. Dance is apni pohile Kshatriya, but Bharatnatyam, ba Kathak, any classical dance. Okay, so what do you have to cover? Indian culture shall only cover the salient aspects, which means only the salient mane important, aspects mane hoise features. Okay, so he boikishtota ki ase particular art forms bilagor. For example, jodi amar Kshatriya hoy, the last se ase, is it a masculine form of dance, it is a feminine, moi ban technical language to use nokor etia, feminine form of dance, tate ki dhornor dress hobo pare, ornaments hobo pare, some major ডান্স প্ৰটাগনিষ্ট যদি আছে তেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ অ'কে বাট তাৰ বাহিৰে সত্ৰীয়াত কেইটা ষ্টেপৰ আপোনাৰ ডান্স আছে কোন কোন আপোনাৰ আজিলৈকে সত্ৰীয়া ওপৰত কেইখন কিতাপ লিখিছে সেইবিলাক উই ডোণ্ট নীড টু ষ্টাডি অলৰাইট আইল গিভ ইউ চাম এক্সাম্পলছ তেতিয়া আপোনালোকে চাগে হয়তো ফুল feature full entire this thing you will get overview you will get okay then see art forms হৈ গ'ল okay now art forms বুলি কোৱাৰ লগে লগে what are the particular art forms can be dance music theater martial arts okay paintings architecture sorry architecture I say paintings will come under it okay so these are a few art forms apart from that you have many other art forms okay puppetry hobo pare n number of art forms are there right so these are the art forms literature mane gom paise kitab potro okay that I think you understand poems hobo song writing anything will come under literature architecture monuments hobo pare temples hobo pare okay cave architecture hobo pare rock cut architecture hobo pare now মই এটা কৈ থাকোতে আপোনালোকক ইমানখিনি আৰ্কিটেকচাৰ এটা পইণ্টতে কৈ দিলোঁ now you understand the gravity of the situation that syllabus যদি আপোনালোকে কভাৰ নকৰে ইয়াতে আপোনালোকে যদি ইণ্ডিয়ান কালচাৰৰ ওপৰত নিউজ পেপাৰৰ ওপৰত যদি কিবা এটা পঢ়িব যায় যে সেইটো এটা লিটাৰেচাৰ ফৰ্ম হয় সেইটো নহ'ব so you cannot randomly go around and beat around the bush instead you have to stick to the syllabus ইয়াতে মই আপোনালোকক কৈ দিছোঁ art forms literature architecture বাহিৰে আৰু তাতো আপোনালোকে কি কভাৰ কৰিব only the salient aspects তাৰ মানে main features only okay now the question is how will you streamline from amongst these iman khini topic or major pra apnaloke important keta keneke select koribo right eta ma art forms ki jani nota man koi dilu je dance hoy gol we have music we have theater forms we have Indian cinema that is also an art form we have puppetry we have so many art forms painting ase see what you will do is first of all you'll segregate this particular topic into the timeline mane ancient medieval and modern okay listen to this very carefully ancient medieval and modern লাগিলে art হক literature হক architecture হক যোনখিনি art forms আমাৰ ancient ইণ্ডিয়াত আছে now we will do about this আজি মই গুটি content নুবুজা I'm just giving you the yeah coins are also there correct Rachita thank you so I'm giving you the idea on how to study okay the content and everything that we'll discuss later in upcoming classes okay so art forms কোৱাৰ লগে লগে যেতিয়া আপোনালোকৰ questions আহিব তেতিয়া আপোনালোকে মনত ৰাখিব এটা বস্তু যে এনশিয়েন্ট মিডিভেল এণ্ড মডাৰ্ণ ওকে ইয়াতো আপোনালোকে প্ৰায়ৰিটি লিষ্ট এটা বনাব most important is the ancient ones মিডিভেলৰ কেছত mostly painting and architecture is important alright so jetia apnaloke hetu hisabot poribo segregated je ancient forms or if you see art forms jodi ami saw painting is important because first form of art was painting only tetia apnaloke kono dhonor dance music ami ketia nopo so e karone ancient formot he timeline to basis jetia apnaloke poribo Indian culture তেতিয়া আপোনালোকে make sure that you cover everything under the ancient art forms that is mostly the architecture mostly the paintings and architecture case to come from ancient till the modern literature case I will say questions are very less okay literature case the I would say weightage on questions is very less so more usually literature I either cover ancient case of mostly Tamil literature aru Buddhist and Jain literatures okay we try to cover that otherwise tar bahir jodi aru kiba thake offshoots bilak ami any reading mind thoriu but if you want to prepare notes if you want to not prepare exactly if you want to go for content then go for timeline first in case of Indian culture okay ancient medieval and modern tatu ma priority koisu sobotke important hoise ancient case of at least for example if it is in case of art forms and architecture mostly literature cases to ma olopan ignore kori to point but in those cases at least for example in case of architecture you should go for Mauryan rock cut okay for those architecture Islamic architecture medieval or times or modern architecture mostly questions ajileke dekha nai but you should give it a read again ekhini ami point by point koribole definitely will do it in our single like mane later on classes bilakot korim all right this is one thing that you need to take care of second important thing now this is somewhat kind of smart study questions will only come for 10 or 15 marks right questions will only come for 10 or 15 marks or let's see if they change the pattern like UPSC does so possibly 12.5 marks of questions will banai dibo pare but ultimately the content will be equal to it will be close to the 15 marks questions only but since it is APSC so there's a very less chance that you will have a change in pattern of questions so hoy to 10 marks of questions hobo no hole 15 marks of questions hobo all right make sure that for every kind of topic that you make, you have a content that is that will be enough for you to fill up a 10 marks of question or a 15 marks of question only. This is the first thing. তাৰ মানে যদি আপোনালোকে ডান্স ফৰ্মছ বনাইছে, যদি সত্ৰীয়া কথা লিখিছে, অ'কে, ৰিমেম্বাৰ ওৱান থিং, সত্ৰীয়াৰ নিচিনা টপিক এটা কেতিয়াও 15 মাৰ্কছৰ কাৰণে নাহে. So that is smart study that you have to figure out from the topics itself. Temple architecture nisna question eta hoyto 15 marks er karone ahibo pare. Merger of fusion of architecture nisna question eta 15 marks er karone ahibo pare. Okay, so this is a segregation that you have to do based on previous year's questions and somewhat your preparation also and guidance, of course. Teneke holo apnaloke etu gom pabo. So make sure that you have a note or you segregate questions in such a way that you can prepare or you can write something for 10 marks, you can write something for 15 marks altogether. He karone mo apnaloko koisu je kshatriya boli koi pela apnaloke 15 page eta note banai lolobo. Just make something that you can write for 10 marks only, and tate apnaloke ki banabo, ki 10 mark likhibo, only the salient aspects. That is why I'm focusing on the keywords that your particular this one provides, the entire syllabus provides. Okay, tate apnaloke extra jodi information dieu, make sure that that is revolving around salient aspects only. You only have to add features mane types mane hoise for example the structure, jodi architecture case structure related salient aspect hobo pare, kunuba ejon like you know time or homoyt hoyto kiba notun feature add hoise tene ka dhonor, but hei boli you don't have to study je amar dekhot ketia ketia evolve hol, ketia ketia code he particular mantri khini ase, iman detailing ot he bostu na lage. But again, this is an idea. Yeah, in depth detailing khini we can do it in our later classes. I hope this is clear. First thing, like I said, please understand the keywords. Indian culture shall cover the salient aspects only. Jodi apnaloke note banai, that you have to make sure that you have a 10 to 15 marks of question at our note. Okay, tate apnaloke bahut extra 15-20 marks or 10-12 page eta note banabo ba note prepare nokoribo. Second thing was that you have to segregate which questions will come for 10 marks, which questions will come for 15 marks. For example, puppetry and theater, ebla question our usually mains or nuhude. Okay, our mains usually concerns with architecture and painting forms mostly, right? Hebla ami previous years of pattern bilago dekhisu. Okay, so that is why I've been saying that you please make sure that whatever notes you prepare, that should only be concerned with the marks pattern that is in APSC. Okay, limit yourself, limit your knowledge to something that will help you in writing the answer and not making you confused je moi nijor notor pa aru ki bhorao. Okay, that will become a problem later on. For example, in the case of Kshatriya, they will never ask you out of the blue je Kshatriya modern aspects bilak ba modern implementation bilak ki hoy, because hetu amar syllabus ot nai. Syllabus ot okol salient aspects bilak he ase. So amar modern India keneke ahi pelai etia Kshatriya ki status hoy ase tenekwa dhonor question usually ahibo nelage. Okay, but of course it is unpredictable. Those kinds of questions in our answer writing program and guidance programs will definitely help you out how to handle questions like those also by chance jodi ahiu jay, but our chances bahut kom. Okay, they'll only stick to salient aspects. If you go back to your previous year's question papers, you will see that apnaloke dekhibo. Okay, all right, so this was the idea on art and culture. Yate amar tinta, like I said, I mean saita amar heri asile component asile, art and culture, modern history, society and geography. Tara bhitor art and culture is done. I hope you are getting an idea je art and culture apnaloke keneke proceed koribo. Art and culture pra duta man question ahe, so make sure you don't miss this question. Also, this question is very important from a essay point of view. Essay apnaloke yar pra bahut aspects uthabo pare. Okay, that we'll of course discuss on a later phase. Next important discussion is on modern history, which is one of the most I think I would say sobotke digholia portion jen lage bohutor, and the reason why that is because most of the people cannot remember history. Our history mono notha karone bahut events thakar babe people think that this is the most complicated part to remember, but in reality if you see history, actually apnaloke within 10-12 days pori he koribo pare. If you understand one thing, modern history, again the same logic, questions will come either in the format of a 10 marks or a 15 marks. So it is obvious je apnaloke gute history kon pohileo tat okol 10 mark or 15 mark or junke that question banabo paribo okol he kita topic he apnalokor exam ot ahibo. Okay, for example, there is something called the let's say the communal award is something যোনটো প্ৰিলিমছৰ কাৰণে বেছি সুধিব কাৰণ তাত 10 মাৰ্কত আপুনি একো লিখিব নোৱাৰে সো হিষ্ট্ৰীত আপোনালোকে এনেকুৱা সৰু সৰু ইভেন্টছ বিলাকৰ নোটছ বনাই লাভ নাই okay this is the trick to studying history you cannot make notes on every topic for example 1857 revolt of 1857 হৈ গল and then we have formation of inc 1885 তাৰে মাজতে যোনখিনি সৰু সৰু টপিকছ আছে সেইখিনিত কেতিয়াও আপোনাৰ মেইনছৰ কোৱেশ্চন নবনে because সেইখিনিত পৰা আপুনি neither 10 marks neither 15 marks so from 1857 যদি মই হিষ্ট্ৰীটো চাওঁ okay from 1857 revolt of 1857 or পৰা next is formation of inc 1885 then some reforms are there সেইখিনিতহে আপোনালোকৰ there are only some particular topics য'ৰ পৰা 10-15 marks a question এটা বনিব all right everything definitely you should remember in a timeline হেতু মনত থাকিব লাগিব কিন্তু আনসাৰ ৰাইটিং প্ৰ্যাকটিছ আৰু কোৱেশ্চনৰ মুখস্থ কৰিবলৈ আপোনালোকে গোটেই হিষ্ট্ৰীখন মুখস্থ কৰিব নালাগে সো ফৰ দ্যাট আই উইল অলসো গিভ ইউ এন আইডিয়া before that let me tell you one thing modern ইয়াতে এটা বস্তু মনত ৰাখিব the keywords again modern indian history from about middle of the 18th century middle of the 18th মানে হৈছে 1700 ৰ কথা কৈছে so around 1750s or kotha koise okay why 1750s because 1757 ot hoisile battle of plassey so actually sabogole he battle of plassey pra events bilak apnar karone important hoy all right so middle of the 18th century pra important hoy tar mane ya agor khini ancient and medieval ot apnaluke answer writing kori pela time waste no koribo my earnest request is that you do not have to practice answer writing on anything that is before 1750s okay no answer writing on anything before 1750s but you can definitely have a read on it because it will always help you in making a foundation okay যদি পঢ়িবলৈ সময় থাকে আৰু নিশ্চয় হেতু সময় থাকিব because এতিয়া we are at the very starting of the course very starting of the mains ahar leke eta bahut time ase 3-4 months etia ase so definitely you should give it a read but you should not do answer writing on those questions ketia nahe apnalokor okay so 1750s or prahibo this one until the present significant events personalities and issues eto bostu olop big hoy history of course is history so yar etia apnar eku dhonor important tenekwa issue na thake okay but significant events bila like I said hekini amar streamline koribo lagibo first ote kunkhini points apnaloke answer writing koribo aru kunkhini points general reading koribo that you have to segregate history on a general event you should always know because timeline to janibo lagibo and you saw that ami back end ami hoday koesilu je in our history classes then you should know the chronology only chronology based questions aibo and this time in prelims like we had predicted only chronology based questions were there which you if you would have attended our classes then directly apnaloke attempt korbo paribo hegita as it is direct questions from our discussions ahise okay so that is why make sure that you should know the chronology but answer writing apnaloke sob topic out no kore okay hetu jate no kore make sure of that so he ki topic ase mota demo eta olop etia olop episode dim then there are personalities and issues evla vague words hoy you don't have to wander around these words mane teneke personalities mane majorly gandhi ji hol B R Ambedkar hol Subhash Chandra Bose hol then we have Rabindranath Tagore mane jo abar hetu aisile karte koisu aru last year then we have Gopal Krishna Gokhale Raja Ram Mohan Roy eneko dhonor kisan personalities ase those you should know aru hekini eneko extra notes eku dorkar nai not like you have to read a biography on them you just have to read history tekherokole junkhini kaam korisile 10-15 marks of bhitor junkhini humai that you can add up and wese mane teneke apnalokor hetu bostu compile ho jabo it's not a big deal okay then we will handle it when we handle these topics or discuss these topics at a later phase next is apnalokor major juntu amar component hoise the freedom struggle buli kwar loge actually it directly means the Gandhian phase okay so the various stages that we have our freedom struggle starting from 1857 also you can consider but at the end of the day modern history je to 1750s manor pra apnaloke koriboy so hekini cover hoye jay okay so different parts of the countries ki contribution asile eta monot rakhibo apnaloke I'll remove this eta monot rakhibo here the contributions and the contributors okay by this we mostly mean the freedom fighters so at least you should know the major freedom fighters or contributors hekiniye mane dhorilok eta Gandhian principles hobo pare every particular freedom struggle যদি মানে CDM হয় suppose তেতিয়া তাতে কি major events হৈছিলে সেইখিনি major contributors and contributions হয় okay from different parts of the country for example West Bengal তো যদি আমি মানে গম পাও কি হৈ আছে অসমতো হেতু সময়ত কি হৈ আছে South India কি হৈছে in the northwest frontier কি হৈছে so all of that compilation should be there but like I said again this is not a very tough thing to remember you just need to segregate the important topics that you need to মানে যোনখিনি 10-15 marks of format দিব পাৰে only those particular topics you have to segregate and then do answer writing on those topics okay so I'll show you a demo on that what we actually do is I'll let me like change the wait let me share another okay so I hope this is visible yes so this is something I'll go straight away to the modern history part so what happens is what happened why is this not working okay yeah so the thing is ki apnaloke jetia history part to consider koribo tetia you should make sure that you know the entire timeline like I said but at the same time you have to make sure that you do answer writing of a few topics only so teneke jodi ami segregate koru tetia these are a few topics that here these are a few topics that come up I will okay these are a few topics here which are actually the most important topics from answer writing point of view so this is something that we have made for our mains matlab guidance program eta ase amar answer writing guidance program eta ase so there we have prepared this but if you have a plan like this at your own end you can also do that all right so what we do is etu apnaloke dekhise section 3 set 3 jota ama 21 22 manor par jonkhini points ase okay from here if you see these are the points that we will consider for modern history era 1957 to 1857 কেইটামান এনেকুৱা ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট আমি ধৰি লওক টপিক ধৰি লম তাৰে সাবসেকশন থাকিব এংলো ওয়াৰ্স কিছুমান আছে সেইখিনি ওপৰত আপোনালোকে আনসাৰ ৰাইটিং কৰিব লাগে ৰিভল্ট অফ 1857 আনসাৰ ৰাইটিং কৰিব লাগে ইম্প্যাক্ট অফ ব্ৰিটিছ কলোনিয়েল ৰুল এইখিনি ফৰ্মেটত আপোনালোকে আনসাৰ ৰাইটিং এইকেইটা টপিকত ডেফিনেটলি কোৱেশ্চন বনিব ইয়াৰ বাহিৰে যদি আপোনালোকে বাকি টপিক কিবা চাই দেন দেয়াৰ ভেৰি লেছ চান্সেছ দ্যাট তাতে আপোনালোকৰ মানে ইন মডাৰ্ণ হিষ্ট্ৰীৰ পৰা content bonibo ba question bonibo so I think you are getting the moral of the story here that Indian history bahut dangor hobo pare kintu answer writing on Indian history is not that big why because you only do answer writing on the selective topics okay either you do it at your own end online apnaloke questions black search koribo pare ebla topic er upor jiman question solve koribo from the same topic teneke apnalokor notes to prepare hoy go thakibo okay but we also have our own guidance program of course hetut ami already mains or question writing বা answer writing hetu dim jot ami daily on a daily basis will post questions on these particular topics including booster topics booster questions eta question ami evaluate kori pelai baki khini definitely same format out maximum possible questions ji hobo pare from the same topic you should know you should be evaluating yourself on those topics okay so I hope you're getting an idea here that GS1 not the syllabus is huge but the coverage that you have to do has to be very streamlined if you start studying everything under the sun you will never be able to finish the course and then this problem comes je apnalokor exam ot common no porile moi ji pohile khini question e nudile but actually you should know that junkhini question apnaloke pohisile ba topic pohisile he phalor par question bonibone nai apart from scoring that's another different thing definitely apnaloke score kora to content bonoto it's a different thing but at the very onset you should at least know that the syllabus that you have in your hand what is it guiding you towards is it guiding you towards reading everything ne to ulta to je you don't have to read everything so our choice will always be the latter one because we don't have to read everything that is why we'll follow the syllabus okay in and out so I'll again share I'll go back to this. So this is something that we have made for the entire course, right? Of course, Jorami first April of starting. But anyway, if you want to, like I said in the very first session itself, you have to make a timetable. You have to make a timetable. You should know what kundina kundu topic hek kore. Okay. Anyway, so I'll go back to our syllabus. Stop sharing. Where is it? Okay. Hang on. Yes. So after, I think you're getting an idea. Modern history. Modern history এটা last part এটাও আছে, which is called the post consolidation. That means after independence কেনেকে India as a whole form হৈছিলে, which is the India Union of Bharat in I mean article number 1 যোনটো কয় Bharat Union of States, সেই বস্তুটো কেনেকে বনিলে, সেই particular organization to কেনেকে হ'ল, that is the post independence consolidation. So that again is a very short, again like I said, you have to just streamline যে তাৰ আন্ডাৰত আপোনালোকে কোনটো টপিক পঢ়িব. Mostly ইয়াত আমাৰ বল্লভভাই পটেলৰ কনচলিডেশ্যনৰ কথা থাকে. We have some Junagadh, Jammu and Kashmir, and Hyderabad the consolidation keneke hol, princely states consolidation keneke hol. So there are some subtopics. Duta tinta topic ase tar bitote. I think the entire main syllabus is done for modern history. Okay. Next important topic is the Indian society. Okay, Indian society is the most easiest one to cover, but at the same time the most critical part where you will lose marks. Why? Because it leaves scope for dynamicism. Okay, if you are dynamic enough, if you are মানে আপোনালোকে যদি তাতে নিজৰ views and points যদি add কৰিব পাৰে, it will lead you to very good marks. Okay, so for that you don't need extensive reading, you need realization. So this part society আপোনালোকে বহুত বেছি কিতাপ বিচাৰি পেলাই এতিয়া টপ নচ যে all over the country maximum toppers যে কি কিতাপ পঢ়ি আছে সেইবিলাক বিচৰাতকে start analyzing your society at your own ground level. See, I'll tell you one thing, civil services, when you are preparing, it is not just about reading books, it's about creating, it's about making your mind analytical. Aji moi as a civil servant jetia I go on field, then I face numerous problems. So if I don't know my society, I cannot solve those particular questions or solve those particular dilemmas. You know, there are positions, there are points where you have to think je at a particular society মানে at a particular সেই গ্ৰুপটোৱে কেনেকৈ ৰিয়েক্ট কৰিব. Suppose for example I went to a place, মই এটা structure এটা suppose construction চলাই আছিলোঁ, and then the people they come and break it off. Okay, they come and destroy the entire মানে like the construction work that we were doing. At some other place কি হ'ব, construction to হ'বই নিদিব because they have some issues. So all of those problems and issues, you might be thinking that we are implementing constitution there, we are implementing geography there, but no. In reality, after coming into civil services, I'm not studying about the physical geography, I'm not studying about earthquakes, I'm not solving problems like that. I'm solving very layman problems. Kunubai kiba bhangi thoi gol, kunubai kiba ta argue korise kobat. Okay, so all of those understandings, they only come from your analytical power, and that analytical power will only come from analyzing your syllabus or analyzing your preparation, and gaining that power during your preparation itself. Okay, analyzing main focus of your syllabus is not just to give you bookish knowledge. That is why I've been asking you je jodi apnaloke syllabus kon নপঢ়াকে সিধা যদি এটা কিতাপ বিচাৰি ফুৰিছে, then that will not be a very good approach. You read books, that would be a very good idea, but you read only the things which will help you in understanding problems later on. Okay, you don't read every chapter, which is definitely not going to help in the later phase. Knowledge is good, but applied knowledge is more required in civil services. So in case of society, when you read about communalism, these things in reality they occur, in reality it's, and communalism is not something that you might be dealing at the level of the public, by the level of some particular groups. You'll be dealing in your own office area, you might be dealing it in your own people, the colleagues that you work with. So the idea, the rationalism has to be inbuilt in you or has to be built in you during the course of preparation. When you study history, you should first understand why you're studying history. Okay, when you're studying the art forms, you have to understand why you're studying the art forms. Right? If you're studying GS5, you have to understand why you're doing it. Instead of securing marks, making the goal that you have to secure marks, you have to make it an understanding from deep within that this is necessary for you to complete your existence as a civil servant. মানে আপোনালোকে যদি এইখিনি নাজানে, পিছতকে এডমিনিষ্ট্ৰেটিভ পাৱাৰ আপোনালোকৰ হাতত কেতিয়াও নাহিব. And by administrative power, I mean to solve the people problems, but solve the administrative problems. Okay, if you don't know the history of a place, you will never understand ajir existence to amar meaning to ki hoy, aji amar existence or background to ki hoy. You will not be able to understand the junto ami empathy ko, that comes from the roots of culture also. Okay, understanding people, that comes from the roots of culture. For example, I work in the Assam Nagaland region, Assam borders. I have to understand je hekinit moi kiyo eta project koribo parim ba kiyo eta project koribo noarim. Hekhini manu junkhini ase mostly tribal communities hoy. So if without understanding the tribal background, now today, as of today, if I'm aware of the fact of their rights, if I'm aware of the fact that they have some forest right act, they have some particular কালচাৰেল আইডেণ্টিটি চ' সেই বস্তুটো যেতিয়ালৈকে মই মোৰ চিলেবাছটোৱে মোক সেইখিনি বস্তু দিব বাট টু কনভাৰ্ট ইট ইন টু এপ্লাইড নলেজ দেট ইজ আপ টু ইউ গাইজ এণ্ড দ'জ শুড বি ৰিফ্লেক্টেড ইন ইউৰ আনচাৰ্ছ এণ্ড দেট উইল বি ডান ইন দি কোৰ্চ অফ প্ৰিপেৰেশ্যন চ' আপোনালোকে সেইটো বস্তু বুকৰ পৰা নপঢ়িব when you read the Gandhian era you have to implement that in your daily lives what the Gandhian principles meant what Ambedkar's principles meant they might be conflicting but you have to choose your way of course action there at some points you might be a Gandhian at some points you might be an Ambedkarian you never know where you have to decide what so that flexibility comes with the knowledge that you have okay so make sure that whenever you're preparing the syllabus whenever you are studying every topic don't make it a habit of studying it like a syllabus of degree or postgraduate okay তেনেকে আপোনালোকে মাষ্টাৰ্ছ বা গ্ৰেজুৱেশ্যনৰ যেতিয়া আপুনি পঢ়ি আছিলে সেই ধৰণে syllabusটো নহয় কিন্তু it is all applied so when it comes to society so অলপ দীঘলীয়া লেকচাৰটো হৈ গ'ল so pardon me for that but anyway coming back to the syllabus salient features of Indian society যেটা আপোনালোকে পঢ়িব তেতিয়া again hold the keywords only the salient features you have to know diversity of India etu bahut eta broad domain hoy when you say diversity of India don't start studying every particular tribe every particular culture every particular language no it does not mean that you get an idea what is the diversity that is in India okay how it helps how it does not help what are the problems what are the pros that arise from it so all of these এনেকুৱা ধৰণে আপোনালোকে সেই বস্তুটো এনালাইজ কৰিব instead of reading an entire book on diversity of India or diversity কি আছে trust me on this they will never ask you a question that write what are the diversities of tribal cultures in India falan thingana no they'll never ask you that okay but you have to analyze that hey diversity থাকা কাৰণে আজি আমাৰ existenceত কি pros আছে cons আছে soft power India is a soft power because of the diversity কেনেকে establish হ'ব পাৰে okay so this is something that you should cover the way you should cover society it is an entirely analytical point you should not just মানে এটা নোট বনাই পেলাই আপোনালোকে হেতু ৰিভাইজ কৰি লাভ নাই you have to analyze the Indian society solve as many questions as possible on this তেতিয়াহে analytical power to বাহিব otherwise you would ask me again যে যদি society বিষয়ে আমি যদি কেবাটো dimension যদি পঢ়িব আছে কেনেকে পঢ়িম so পঢ়াত কৈ first make your base of course features খিনি পঢ়ি লওক diversity কেনেকে কি আছে reading এটা কৰি লওক but then in answer writing you will get an idea যেতিয়া questions বিলাকৰ pattern আহিব তেতিয়া you will get an idea যে আমি question to face কেনেকে কৰিম okay role of women etu as a whole apnaloke role of women jeta koribo now you have to again streamline okay role of women boli koi pelai kebatao field choose korilo for example agriculture role of women in households role of women in education science defense every field at least apnaloke teneke role of women jot ase in the recent times with current affairs for example role of women ajikali environment and sustainability that a high topic hoy even Padma Shri janeke recently amar Parvati Burua I think that was the name so tekhete je paise the mahawat so hebilak amar keneke eta impact hoy in the like understanding je women and environment hok women and conservation hok keneke he bostu eta impact ase he particular topics lo apnaloke streamline koribo role of women bili koi pla apnaloke tinikhon kitab pori eta lab nai okay you have to see around you what is happening with the women around you have to see the roles in every field apnaloke teneke 15 marks karne maximum 15 ta man point gutai lo likewise you can revise and then as it is jeneke exam today you can analyze it women's organization mostly ajikali self help groups eta jeneke lakpati baidio eblak link kori pla apnaloke enekwa dhonor kisuman news and enekwa dhonor kisuman current affairs and issues bilak eta note banabo okay population associated issues of course gg issues ase streamline them poverty developmental issues etc urbanization mostly amar urbanization or gg problems ase remedies ase so keywords ase urbanization bikhoy apnaloke extra ke aru পঢ়াত কৈ you have to first address these points যোনটো দিছে urbanization লাগিব তাৰ problems লাগিব remedies লাগিব okay তাৰ বাহিৰে আপোনালোকে extra জি পঢ়াই পঢ়ি থাকিব পাৰে but syllabusত জি আছে first cover that I would also advise here that tar bahe ji পঢ়াটো actually বেছি উচিত নহয় but let's just say even if you are interested then don't go beyond this you have to stop it somewhere কিছুমানে urbanization পঢ়ি এখন magazine হেক কৰি দিব and you'll go on just reading everything in and out about urbanization lastot kintu apnalokor hey brainot jiman kin amar capacity ase tar bhitor problems and remedies jodi thaki ja well and good but egita point eri pla jodi baki sob monot thakeo exam it will not help because in exams only this will come the problems and remedies. Only question about that is going to come. Okay, even in the previous year there was a question on this. It only stuck to the problems of urbanization. Okay, effects of globalization on Indian society. Again, a very very important topic, and every year per question আমি essay দেখিছো in fact job বছৰ. So you see that effects. This is the keyword. Globalization or every particular aspect of women কি effect হৈছে, family কি effect হৈছে, environment কি effect হৈছে, তেনেকুৱা ধৰণে আপোনালোকে at least 10-15 points for every topic you should collect. Okay, so only the effects তাৰ বাহিৰে definitely majorly আপোনালোকে গ্লোবালাইজেশ্যনৰ ডেফিনেশ্যন বা সেইখিনি কভাৰ কৰিবই, বাট মেইন চেলিয়েণ্টলি যোনটো ইম্পৰ্টেণ্টলি যোনটো আমাক লাগে that is the effects from মেইনছ point of view. Okay, and where on the Indian society only. Okay, Indian society ভিতৰত আমি women পঢ়িব, vulnerable society পঢ়িব, elderly পঢ়িব পাৰে, senior citizen পঢ়িব পাৰে, children পঢ়িব পাৰে, infants পঢ়িব পাৰে, anything. So notes holistically কেনেকৈ প্ৰিপেয়াৰ কৰিব লাগে ডেফিনেটলি সেইটো আজি সেশ্যন আমি কৰিব নোৱাৰিম কভাৰ, বাট আই এম জাষ্ট গিভিং এন আইডিয়া যে এফেক্টছ মানে চৰি চিলেবাছটো কেনেকৈ হেণ্ডেল কৰিব লাগে. চ' এই গোটেইখিনি কিন্তু কম্পাইল কৰি দেৰ আৰ ফিউ স্মাৰ্ট ৱেজ টু মানে গোটেইখিনি বস্তু এটা পাৰ্টিকুলাৰ নোটৰ পৰা আপোনালোকে কেনেকৈ বনাব পাৰে সেইটো তালিকা এটা আছে, এটা ৱে এটা আছে. উই উইল ডিছকাছ ইট লেটাৰ অন, বাট আই হোপ ইউ আৰ গেটিং এন আইডিয়া যে চিলেবাছটো ফ'ল' কেনেকৈ কৰিব লাগে. অ'কে, social empowerment, communalism, regionalism, secularism. These are very big topics, but you have to, again, since it is from society point of view, make sure that আপোনালোকে তেনেকেই সেই বস্তুটো নোটটো বনাই যে কমিউনেলিজমৰ ছ'চাইটিৰ ওপৰত কি ইম্পেক্ট পৰিব তাৰে সৰু সৰুকৈ নোট কেইটামান বনাব. ডোণ্ট ৰিড n number of articles on communalism. It will not help you. Read very restrictive articles, read very restrictive content. Okay, and hey content bilak, hey notes bilak we'll try to cover if at all possible. All right, baki jodiu cover no hoy, we'll try to provide the notes in the group. Of course everything will be free of cost, teneke ko problem nai, but in any case if you're starting from now onwards, make sure that you have কমিউনেলিজম বুলি ক'লে আপোনাৰ মেক্সিমাম 15 মাৰ্কছৰ কুৱেশ্যন আহিব. 15 মাৰ্কছত 4 পেজ দিয়ে আৰু সেই 4 পেজটো আপোনাৰ A4 চাইজৰ সমান নহয়. Okay, so that is you should prepare a very short note, at least 3-4 পেজৰ আপোনালোকে মেক্স যাব, তাতকৈ বেছি আপোনালোকে নোটছবিলাক দীঘলীয়া নকৰিব, বিকজ 15 মাৰ্কছৰ কাৰণে যাতে আপোনালোকে সেই নোটটোৰ পৰাই কমন পেলোৱাকৈ লিখি দিব পাৰে. অ'কে, নেক্সট জিঅ'গ্ৰাফিত আপোনালোকৰ I would say yes, it is again a very like I said a vast course. So this again falls in place like the Indian history part, য'ত আপোনালোকৰ গোটেইখিনি বস্তু 15-20 মাৰ্কছৰ কাৰণে নাথাকে কণ্টেণ্ট. চ' সেইখিনি কুৱেশ্যন সোধা নাযায়. এতিয়া দে উইল জাষ্ট নট চিম্পলি আস্ক ইউ question যেনেকৈ যোৱাবাৰ হিট বাজেট আহিছে. হিট বাজেট ইজ আ কুৱেশ্যন অফ 15 মাৰ্কছ. চ' দেৰ আৰ চাম টপিকছ অনলি দেট ইউ শ্বুড কভাৰ. আৰু সেই বস্তুটো এতিয়া চ'লাৰ ছিষ্টেম বুলি কৈতো মানে APSC কুৱেশ্যন ফৰ্মুলেট কৰি দিব নালাগে যে ৰাইট এবাউট 9 planets or something. So there are some particular topics যেনেকৈ for example I'll again show you my note here. I think then you will get an idea on geography also. So here also we have let's say for example streamlined a few topics on geography jar ami dekhisu je chances besi hoy to come in the exams. Okay, so like this you can formulate a few topic of yours. I'll give you an idea here. You can check Drishti IS so eta bahut dhuniya ke course or syllabus by syllabus that is segregate kori thake, but from APSC point of view guti khini definitely important na thake, tato listing bahut dighol hoy. But the like you'll get an idea, you'll get a gist check. Sorry, you'll get a gist check কোনখিনি আমাৰ like topics cover হ'ব লাগে. দৃষ্টি আইছত আপোনালোকে চাব GS 1 2 3 5 or syllabus segregation এটা আছে. Okay, but otherwise from APSC point of view of course you can কিছুমান ষ্ট্ৰীমলাইন কৰি পেলাই আপোনালোকে এই বস্তুখিনি কভাৰ কৰিব পাৰে. অ'কে, চ' লাইক ৱাইজ ফৰ এক্সাম্পল জিঅ'মৰ্ফলজি কেইটামান টপিক আছে, অ'চেনোগ্ৰাফি কেইটামান টপিকছ আছে, ক্লাইমেটলজি আছে. চ' সেই টপিকখিনি আপোনালোকে এনেকৈ ছেগ্ৰিগেট কৰিব লাগিব. গোটেই জিঅ'গ্ৰাফি এফালৰ পৰা পঢ়ি গ'লে এতিয়া ইউ উইল ষ্টাৰ্ট like from some place you will never finish. Geography finish কৰিবলৈ আপোনালোকৰ as a whole 3 months around লাগে. Okay, so for that reason you should make sure that কোনখিনি টপিক আপোনালোকে পঢ়িব, কোনখিনি নকৰে. Right, for example in the second part key natural resources again economic geography হয় part 2, agriculture, then হৈ গ'ল আপোনাৰ industry, then economy, sorry, this one agricultural economy হ'ল, then we have energy resources. এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ তিনিটামান আমাৰ particular থাকে টপিকছ য'ৰ পৰা আমি ৰিচোৰ্চেছ বা নেচাৰেল ৰিচোৰ্চেছৰ কথা আমি পঢ়িব লাগে। চ' সেই বস্তুটো আপোনালোকে ছেগ্ৰিগেট কৰিব লাগিব। আৰু ইয়াতে ফৰ এক্সাম্পল এৰাউণ্ড দ্য ৱৰ্ল্ড আমাৰ মষ্টলি APSCত নুসুধে, অ'কে, মষ্টলি দে কনচাৰ্ণ ইণ্ডিয়ান চেক্টৰ অনলি, ইণ্ডিয়ান চেক্টৰ এণ্ড ইন শ্বৰ্ট আছাম। চ' এইটো UPSC চিলেবাছৰ পৰা যিহেতু ছেইম কৈ থোৱা আছে, বাট একচুৱেলি ইন ৰিয়েলিটি আই হেভ নট চিন এৰাউণ্ড দ্য ৱৰ্ল্ড, এক্ৰছ দ্য ৱৰ্ল্ড আমি এতিয়ালৈকে কুৱেশ্যন দেখা নাই, বাট ষ্টিল উই শুড হেভ এন আইডিয়া। কিন্তু নোটছ হিচাপে বা আনচাৰ ৰাইটিং হিচাপে আপোনালোকে প্ৰাইমেৰিলি ইণ্ডিয়ান কণ্টিনেণ্টৰ বিষয়ে, ইণ্ডিয়ান কাণ্ট্ৰিৰ বিষয়ে পঢ়িব। ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট জিঅ'গ্ৰাফিকেল ফেনমিনাত মই মষ্টলি আই উড চে ফ'কাছ অন আৰ্থকুৱেক্স বিকজ ইট কনচাৰ্ণছ ইণ্ডিয়া এণ্ড আছাম এণ্ড চাইক্ল'নছ। তাৰ বাহিৰে এইখিনি আপোনালোকে জেনেৰেল ৰিডিং দিব, অলৰাইট। বাকীখিনি আপোনালোকে এই পইণ্টটোত যেনেকৈ ফৰ এক্সাম্পল ফ্ল'ৰা ফ'না অল দিছ কামছ আণ্ডাৰ এনভাইৰনমেণ্ট অলছ' কনজাৰ্ভেশ্যনৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত আপোনালোকে সেইটো কভাৰ হৈ যায়। চ' ইয়াতে মই আপোনাক আৰু এটা কথা কৈ দিওঁ, ইন দ্য চিলেবাছ দেৰ আৰ চাম পইণ্টছ উইচ ইউ উইল চি বোথ ইন GS4, ইন GS2, কিছুমান GS1, GS3 কমন পৰে। চ' সেইখিনি টপিক আপোনালোকে এটাই নোট বনাব যাতে আপোনালোকৰ এক দিছে দো তিন নিচান হৈ যায়, অ'কে। ফৰ এক্সাম্পল দিছ পাৰ্ট ফ্ল'ৰা ফ'না অল দিছ পাৰ্টছ, এইবিলাক বস্তু আমাৰ এনভাইৰনমেণ্ট আণ্ডাৰটো পৰি যায়। চ' এটা নোট বনালে আপোনালোকৰ জিঅ'গ্ৰাফিৰ কাৰণে হৈ যায়, এনভাইৰনমেণ্টৰ কাৰণে হৈ যায়। চ' অল অফ দিছ ৱাজ এবাউট GS1. I'm not sure if this is of any help to you guys, but okay, Prachurya Datta, modern history from 1857 onwards chale hobone. No, I prefer that you should check modern history from 1750s itself. But 1750s পৰা গোটেইখিনি নালাগে, আমাক কিছুমান বস্তুৱে লাগে। ফৰ এক্সাম্পল আমি এংলো ৱাৰ্ছ কেইটামান চাব লাগে, অ'কে। এংলো বাৰ্মিজটো আমাৰ যোনটো অসমৰ কাৰণে ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট হয়, সেইখিনি আমাৰ ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট হয়। But apart from that, Battle of Plassey itself is important because it's a turning point. Then we have a few যোনখিনি আমাৰ ৰিফৰ্মছ আছিলে, সেইখিনি আমাৰ 18th century social reforms আছিলে, সেইখিনি আমাৰ ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট থাকে। চ' আই থিংক 1857ৰ পৰা ডিৰেক্ট ষ্টাৰ্ট কৰিলে ইট বিকামছ আ বিগ শ্বৰ্টকাট, আৰু তাৰ আগৰখিনি পইণ্ট যোনখিনি আমাৰ মিছ হৈ যোৱাৰ চান্সেছ থাকে, আৰু ইনফেক্ট এছেটো আমাৰ সেইখিনি কম্পনেণ্ট আমি ইমপ্লিমেণ্ট কৰিব পাৰোঁ কিছুমান। Okay, so that is why I don't prefer to study from 1857 onwards only. We can backtrace from, like, we should stick to syllabus. At least 1750s of our junkhini major events ase that we should at least cover. Okay, I'm not sure if Prachurya Datta is here, but I hope I have answered this. Okay, so this was about the syllabus GS1. So I hope you're getting some idea, or maybe you already knew most of it, but just for an idea je apnaloke, at least I have opened the microphone. So are you sure, are you clear about today's session, how we are going to proceed, how we are going to uh, like, did you get an idea about? But ধৰি লওক আপোনালোকৰ যদি কিবা ডাউট আছে, then kindly mention here. Any topic, if you have had personal problems with anything that you, anything out as a whole. Yes, otherwise we will end this session here.